I love my job. I love my job. I love my job. Coffee. Thank you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll see you at the next session. Have a great week, everyone. Bye. I think I'm losing my mind. I'm going to be sharing with you today my top 10 secrets to the way that I am getting energy and keeping that energy going right now. The first thing I want to talk about, and the number one way that I get my energy now, I'm actually telling you my favorite secret first, because I know I'm breaking all of the YouTube rules where they say, save your best one for last, so they watch your entire video. But I know that your time is valuable. And I'm gonna start off with my favorite one, number one. I am telling you, the most important thing I'm doing right now is scheduling my private lessons and my classes so that it is going to work for me. And let me tell you what I mean. When I'm scheduling, I am making sure that I am creating breaks for myself throughout the day. If I'm doing a one-on-one session with my students, I am allowing them also to schedule themselves. I use my website for my one-on-one private coachings, and I allow them to go in, they see my schedule, and they can choose a time that works for them on their own. By allowing them to schedule their own time, all I need to do is show up, I am ready to work, I have their information, and they've already chosen a time that works for them. See if you can find a system where they can schedule themselves. That way you don't have to do the back and forth with everybody, but I'm telling you, Squarespace has changed my life with my scheduling. Also, make sure that you are padding time before and after every single class and after every single session, no matter what it is. What I've discovered that it takes them longer to log on, or it takes them longer to get in, and you just want to have some time before and after your schedulings. Number two is what I like to call morning time. That means that I have some time in the morning to have my coffee, to sit outside, to get some fresh air, to scroll through my social media, to play and pet with my dogs, to talk to my husband. I get morning time to do whatever I want to, and that really gives me a great start for the day, so that I start the day with some energy because I've given myself a little bit of time to adjust from waking up. Number three is to set boundaries. We need to make sure that as teachers, we are setting boundaries for ourselves so that we are able to have the energy and the self-care that we need, because if we aren't taking care of ourselves, how can we take care of our students? A few of the boundaries I have set is that when I schedule time with my students, that's the time I get. I try to really stick with it. I try not to go over. As much as I want to give my students, if I go over 30, 45 minutes of each class, that's going to eat up my lunch time, my break time, my coffee time, my time to look outside and to not look straight into a camera or a zoom lens. Tip number four, and I know this one might be a bit of a shock, but tip number four is to discover your new norm. 6 weeks ago, I was teaching 8 a.m. classes, sleeping in the afternoon, and then I was going to rehearsal in the evening and working until midnight. That's not my new norm right now. And I know that may not seem normal to many people, but that's my normal life as an educator and an actor. Tip number five to get more energy is to really focus on your classes being more asynchronous and less synchronous. Now again, this might depend upon where you're teaching and what classes you're teaching and how you're setting your classes up. But what I mean by this is less face-to-face Zoom time, Skype time, however you're doing your sessions, less together and more online activities, more activities where they do it on their own and then they submit it or turn it into you. Tip number six that I've really discovered lately that I'm loving is to create projects and assignments that I love, that I am excited about. So I started developing different assignments, like, for example, in one of my musical theater history classes, I used to assign them to do an analysis on a musical. Well, I've read thousands and thousands of analysis papers on the musical Oklahoma. I'm good with that one. So what I had them do instead is they picked an artist that we had been discussing in class, that unit, and they did a research paper, and they got to not only pick somebody that was interesting to them, but somebody that was influencing musical theater. So if you can create some type of project where they get the choice in the topic or the material or the way that they create that project or create that assignment to fit what's exciting to them, it's then also in turn going to allow you the luxury of grading one assignment with multiple different responses versus everyone kind of doing the same topic. So try it out, see what you can come up with. Number 7, and I am very, very specific about working this into my scheduling when I schedule my week out on Sunday, is you time. Time for just you. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk during the day, and you're scheduling that 10-minute walk just for you every day at 1:30. So from 1:30 to 1:45 is just you time. Number 8 is scheduling days off. And I mean days off from teaching, from working, whether that's a Saturday or a Sunday, or whether that's a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Pick at least one day, I would say 2, but at least one day that is a day off where you do not talk to your students, where you do not look at your curriculum, you do not open Canvas or Blackboard or however you're teaching, you don't create new ideas for your students, you don't organize for students, you do nothing that has to do with work. Number 9 is give your students a survey, whether you're at the beginning of class or the end of class. Ask your students what type of technology that they have access to at home. Ask them about what type of Wi-Fi or internet access do they have. Ask them, do they have a quiet space or a space that they can work in? Or if you're doing Zoom sessions, ask them if they have a private space that they feel comfortable singing in or performing in if you're teaching performance-based classes. Ask them the questions you need so that you can be able to craft your curriculum and your online class to work for the students. Number 10 is try something new in your classes. I really like to create new ways of giving assignments, especially with online, that give them the idea of it being more creative. So like, for example, I started doing discussion posts where they listen to a podcast episode and then they respond to it. Or they do a journal entry for that week on what they worked on, what they found challenging, and what they found easy for them to learn. They'll do a journal of just a paragraph about something challenging in class to them. Or I'll have them do a reflection. And they can do that within, if you're using Canvas or Blackboard or just an email, it gives them the opportunity to try something new. Also, it's really helpful for you to have new initiatives, to create new content, or create new ways the students can learn the information in a different environment, especially right now when we're online. I hope these tips have helped you, give you energy to find new creative outlets for your teaching. If you found these really useful and helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, a like, and leave me a comment if you have any questions below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos. I have new videos coming out every single week. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the best in your teaching this week, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.